you, Todd. And our final presenter, last, certainly not least, Shelley Wright. We had talked about going in reverse alphabetical order, but that was nobody was comfortable with that. So we're going to stick with things. Thank you, Shelley.
Thanks, David. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity always to have a chance to visit with you and let you know some of the things that we're doing at Questar Pipeline. I also want to give my thanks to the COGA organization and for their welcome and opportunity to be here today as well. They always do such a great job, and they've done a wonderful job with this conference. Just going on to the agenda of what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to quickly go over a system overview and clay basin inventory. Everyone seems to be very interested in what's happening with the inventory in clay basin at this time of year. Briefly talk about overthrust and some updates there. Also a construction update on Questar Pipeline with our project on our southern system, as well as a few growth projects we have underway. Our pipeline system, for those who aren't familiar with it, the pipeline in blue is Questar Pipeline Company, the traditional system throughout Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado. And you can see that we connect to various hubs across this region. Our pipeline capacity is just over 2.5 BCF a day. Overthrust pipeline is shown in red, and that is in southwestern Wyoming. Essentially, that is a pipeline connecting the Opal hub area all the way over to Wamsutter, and is a really great connecting pipe across that part of this region. And that's a little over 2.4 BCF of capacity. It does flow both east and west. Some of that is by displacement, but we have a lot of capability, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. Also, Clay Basin, the yellow star in the center of the map, is our storage facility, capacity of 51.25 BCF of working gas. And also, last but not least, White River Hub. This is our partnership with Enterprise, and this is the hub in the Piceance Basin where we interconnect all of the pipelines and large processing facilities in that region to provide the greatest amount of capacity and access to market. And that's been a great project for us. We want to thank Platts for the recent listing of daily pricing that started August 1st for White River Hub. Clay basin inventory is always interesting to watch. This year is interesting, as always. We started out on the low end of the 10-year average. So you can see that gray band is the last 10-year period, lows and highs. And we started out at the lowest, but you can see that up and through the end of July, people have been injecting considerable amounts of gas into that storage field. In fact, we have been allocating injections most recently. So it's filling up fairly rapidly. And you can see from last year that we started out actually pretty high with what was in Clay Basin to begin with, and then it came down quite a bit at the end of the year, the injection or the withdrawal season, so that's shown in green. Quick update on Overthrust Pipeline. This slide shows, if you look on the map, all of the expansion projects we have done on Overthrust over the last 5-year period, and there have been quite a few. We've extended to Opal, we've put in compression, we extended to Wamsutter to essentially deliver and connect into the Rex pipeline and have them transported under a lease arrangement for their shippers from Opal. We've also done a number of other things with that pipeline. Most recently, this number 5, the red pipe, we looped the last section of our pipe that was a little lower MAOP. It was 1048 MAOP. And that's been looped and in service in February with pipe 36-inch diameter 1440 MAOP. And the reason that that's important is that now gives us pipeline from Opal to Wamsutter that is high pressure 1440 MAOP pipe. This particular piece of pipe was built essentially for Ruby and for their shippers to be able to make larger volume deliveries to the west. So as you see, this really puts us in a great position to not only deliver large volumes to the east, to Rex, our interconnect there is about a BCF a day, but also to the west to Ruby, and that's 1.2 BCF of capacity. So a lot of flexibility with this pipeline. This slide talks about that, flexibility, a little bit of capacity, information, what's available on an unsold long-term basis. We've got 50,000 decatherms that can go east to either WIC or REX, and then also available going to the west for delivery to either Ruby or Kern, at minimum of 280,000. Depending on the receipt point, it actually can be a larger volume than that. So still some opportunity there for our shippers. You can see that the rates at the bottom, kind of small print, but if you're flowing to the west, it's a little over 7 cents, and flowing to the east, it's 11.413 cents. So pretty reasonable rates. Moving on to construction on Questar Pipeline, our 104 southern system. This is a loop of our southern system between Fiddler and Goshen. You can see the red dotted line is the last section to be looped across that corridor through the Uinta Basin. That is under construction currently and is anticipated to be completed in November. So we're excited to see that project underway. This provides a lot of supply access diversity for our shippers, and this is a really important piece of our southern system to create more opportunity for parties to flow both east and west. Just some growth projects that I want to mention briefly. Clay Basin storage opportunity, and many of you probably saw where we just recently filed with the FERC to recertify the total reservoir capacity in Clay Basin up to 120.2, which was the original capacity or original gas in place. It's been 117.5, so we had this opportunity to go ahead and make this filing. That's in right now, creates another 2.7 BCF of reservoir inventory capacity. We're not putting in compression or anything that would allow that to be anything but park and loan kind of interruptible service at this point in time. So looking to have that available a little later this year, maybe in the next couple of months. In addition to that, to provide a little bit more flexibility with Clay Basin for shippers, we're looking to make more of a direct interconnect with Clay Basin to Overthrust, so that there is more of a direct connection to Ruby and Rex and WIC, and that's something you'll see us working on and coming out with a little later. Also, our Uinta Basin Transportation and Processing Project. This is a really unique opportunity that we're providing for the Uinta Basin producers, where we're able to take some existing pipeline facilities and allow these producers with higher BTU gas to transport across our system. And you can see the red arrows is what we're offering. We had an open season earlier this year for 110,000 decatherms a day that would flow across that part of the system and deliver into cryogenic processing there in the Fiddler area. So this really does provide that uplift in pricing for those producers, really kind of a unique opportunity, and we're really excited about this project. We did receive support in our open season, and we're progressing with this project. We're looking at right now about a mid-2012 in service, putting in facilities and for parties to finalize their processing arrangements with the processors in the Fiddler area. So great project. If you're interested in that, certainly let us know. We've got marketing and business development people here. They're the experts, and we'd love to talk more with you about it if you have an interest. Another project that we have out there is our Fiddler Compression and Mainline 68 MAOP increase. What this does is create capacity across our southern system between Fiddler and the White River Hub. And it does create capacity both directions, so that's kind of a nice opportunity for those parties who have supply in the White River Hub that would like to go to the west, to Fiddler and other points either north or west. That creates 30 million a day. And for those who want to go the other direction toward White River Hub, it's 25,000 decatherms a day. That did go out for an open season. We are still looking for support for that project. Let us know if you have an interest in this particular project. And again, in-service is dependent upon us receiving that support. We also have some opportunities with midstream services. We have an entity, Questar Transportation Services. This is an unregulated midstream entity. We have some facilities that we provide this type of service under, and we are looking to grow this opportunity. So if you have interest or have a need in this area, we certainly would like to talk to you about that. And last, hub services. As you can see on our map, Questar Pipeline is situated right in the heart of the Rockies. We really provide a lot of opportunity to flow gas both east and west, provide storage, park and loan, a lot of different opportunities, and we're looking at ways that we might be able to provide rates and services that continue to provide that flexibility for our shippers. So please let us know what interest you may have. We're really dependent on your input. We want to make that something that is based on needs of our customers, and so we'll be talking to a lot of you about that. This list is just some of those things that we've been looking at this point in time. I want to thank all of you for your time and really appreciate our customer support and the opportunity we have to work with all of you. Thank you.